Hosea chapter 3, verse 4.
Hold it, let them find it. I had a couple pages to turn. Go ahead.
For the children of Israel,
The children of Israel
shall abide many days
shall abide many days
without a king
without a king.
and without a prince.
Hello. So the Creator did not regard President Eisenhower, President Kennedy, and Obama as our kings. We set them up over us. He said we set up kings that he knew not. He don't regard them. He said the truth of the matter, Israel should abide many days without a what?
King.
Without a king, without a prince, without a sacrifice, without a image, without an ephod, and without cherubim. And afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek Yahweh, their Elohim, and who? David, their king. The Almighty decreed that David, the man that he said is a man after his own heart, he has decreed that David is your king.
Yes, sir.
That's your king. That's the one that's going to lead you into righteousness. That's the one that's going to take you back to the Creator. That's the one that's going to give you a land and a temple and bring you back to the laws of the Most High. David shall be the scheme that Yahweh sets up. Remember in Deuteronomy 17 that we should set up a king whom Yahweh shall choose, one from amongst our brethren. And that's David. David. I know you don't like that, some of y'all, but David is your king. Get used to it. That's the only king that Yah's going to set up. These other kings he going to put up and he going to bring down. But how long is David going to rule? You're going to have a king like no other king on this earth. A beautiful, black, nappy-head king that will be here forever. What did it finish saying? And thou shalt dwell many days, Israel shall abide many days without a king, without a prince, without an image, without a sacrifice, without an image, without an ephod, without a cherubim. And afterwards, shall they do what? Shall return and seek
Yahweh, their Elohim, and David, their king.
What did it say behind David?
And shall fear Yahweh
and shall fear Yahweh and his goodness in what day?
The latter days.
The latter days. That means the last days. David will be the one set up to be your king. Until then, true Israel should abide many days without a king. Now the sister was asking, what should Israel do? Well, some of Israel going to be doing something great. Go to the book Zephaniah. Go to the book of Zephaniah, the 2nd chapter. What should we be doing today? This is what we should be doing today, right now. This is how we should be preparing our hearts. This is how Yah is speaking to me. This is how he's talking to the leadership, the true leadership of our people. Yah saying in the book of Zephaniah, the 2nd chapter, the 1st verse,
gather yourselves together.
He's saying that we're going to have to come together. We're going to have a famine through the land. We're going to have unemployment like it was never. See, the people don't know what they're finna get into. We've been teaching it for years. And they thinking every day they finna come out of it. They have no idea what stands around the corner. If they did, they would be shaking in their feet right now. But you don't have no need to shake. You don't have no need to rattle, because Yahweh is your king. The one that calls the beginning from the ending is the one that you have developed a relationship with. You have developed a covenant with. And Yah is speaking to your heart. And he said, gather yourselves together. What does that mean? We got to unite. Right now, some of us going to be losing jobs. Some of us going to be laid off. And we got to band together as a small family and then go to an extended family to other cities and other countries. We got to keep growing, but we got to start coming together. And charity begins at home and spread abroad. I can't tell the people around the country that we need to gather ourselves together, and the congregation of Israel here in Cincinnati are not coming together as a family that you are. We need to know what's happening every moment with our brothers in Tacoma, Washington, and Atlanta, Georgia, rather, Jackson, Florida, Washington, D.C. We need to know what's happening. And we need to tell them what's going on. Gather yourselves together.
Yea, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired.
O nation not desired.
Before the decree bring forth.
Before the decree brings forth.
Before the day pass as the chaff.
Before the day pass as a chaff.
Before the fierce anger of Yahweh come upon you.
Before the fierce anger of Yah come upon you, because you want someone else other than him, because you have chosen someone else other than him, because you don't trust in him. Look what he did to David. He didn't trust in him, but it started Nimrod in Israel. That started Nimrod in Israel. What did Yah do to David? He didn't even finish. He just started Nimrod in Israel, and the Almighty punished him for trying to undermine his authority. How about you trying to set up your own kingdom? After he told you, after he let it be known unto you that he's the one that rules in the kingdom of men and giveth it into whomsoever hand he will. And he's the one that settled up one king and bringeth down another. And he's the one that gives the kingdoms to whomsoever he will. And then you going to be Israel. The Jehovah's Witness look out the door. And what do they look at? Seventh-day Adventists look out the door and they see true Israel standing in line with them to vote. What do they say? Christ is the only Savior. They supposed to be believing Yah. Christ told us to give Caesar what belongs unto Caesar. And we finna cast our votes for him today. Because we want us a black Caesar. But look who's in back of me. Israel. They claim that he's the true God. They claim that Yahweh is the one that sets up kings and rules his kingdom and has the whole world in his hands. Look at them. Ain't she about a phony? With all that Israel talked to me about Yahweh. Ain't she about a fool? That's what they said about you under their breath. Because they be reading what you should be reading. And they know what this says. They just don't believe it. You supposed to believe it. Because you supposed to know it. They supposed to be acquainting themselves with what Peter and Paul said. You supposed to acquaint yourself with what thus said Yahweh. And Yahweh has given you no occasion not to believe in him, not to trust him, and not to fear him. No occasion. But let's keep reading.